All right, just give me 1 second, everybody. I'll get started very soon. Is my audio fine? Type 1 if you can hear me. Type 2. Actually, don't type anything. You can't hear me. Type 1 if you can hear me. Let me get this weekly outlook uploaded for premium. Okay, weekly upload is done. Nice. Okay, perfect. All right. Good morning. Good morning. I've decided to go live today because I won't be live tomorrow, as I will be away. For those that know. Yeah. So I guess I just went live today. If you guys have any questions and stuff, I'm actually already in a trade. I'm in a short right now, and I'd like to see previous day low hit. So not much for me really go over as of right now. I'm kind of just trusting the process and letting my model play out. But if you guys have any questions and stuff, then, feel free to let me know. This stuff, I feel like I don't even need this on my chart. This I don't need on my chart either. What's going on here? So much cleaner. So pretty much I'm looking at the SM2 London high as of right now, and that's why I would like to see previous day low hit. Another reason is because our previous day low is a sorry, voice crack. Damn. Anyways, the reason why I want to see our previous day low hit is because it's also a daily fair value gap. So if you look between these two gaps right here, that from these two lines, this is Wednesday high, this is Friday low, right? You have your daily fair value gap right here. So I would like to see us dig back into that, especially with the way NQ's trading as of right now. And we have that SMT on the highs. What's a bias we shorting after 9:30 or what? So I'm already in a short right now, but I would like to see previous day low hit. If we create SMT with previous day low, then I'll look for higher prices, because ultimately our draw is, our draw liquidity from Q2 from last week, right? So previous week high, which is going to be our August 27th high. So that's what I'm expecting to be hit. But as of right now, I wanted to see us start off the week, create some sort of SMT on the low first, and then run higher with FOMC. I think FOMC is going to give us that volatility injection that we wanted into these highs. I mean, yeah, I guess we do. Let me think. Let me think. Do we have, is it valid? Trade above that. I guess we'll see how this candle closes here, but it doesn't look very promising to me personally as of right now. I think I wouldn't use it as of right now. I'd just wait, to be honest. I feel like whenever you have SMT like in like consecutive quarters, it's not as high probability. So it's like if we had SMT between Q1, Q2, I would like to see Q1 high hit first before we get a new SMT. I think that's what I would go for. But as of right now, because we have no news, I'm strictly using my intraday model, which is, your stacked SMTs on the lower time frame cycles. So here's our 930 volatility injection. See what happens. Why I'm driving higher. I'd like to see NASDAQ drive lower into previous day low if possible. Yeah, I'm just partial there. I don't really like being a part of 930 volatility. Partial move to stop break even. I'm happy with that. Very happy. And then my next target's gonna be this low right here, which has pretty much no significance, to be honest. It just lines up with my projections. That's why I'm using it. So my trade as of right now, I tried entering here, and because of NinjaTrader giving me the contract change error and stuff like that, I ended up having a bunch of misclicks, and I ended up like executing down here instead. So I put on around 5 micros here. I just partialed some right here. I partialed 4 of the contracts right here. And then the rest, I'm letting it ride down to this low if it wants to go to this low. I think this is quite interesting what YM is doing, as well as ES. However, once again, I'm just following my intraday model. I'm trusting the process. I'll let it do its thing. I'm up. How much am I up today? Up 7K today, like I'll take it. Now I'm gonna let my runners run to this low here. Bitcoin. I would like to see higher prices because we have this SMT on the lows. I'm not sure if you guys can see this line. I don't know why it's so dim. This SMT right here on the lows. So I would like to see higher prices. And ultimately, of course, I still want to see all-time highs being taken out on Bitcoin while it fails to take it out on Ethereum. But I did buy some Bitcoin here. I will not lie. I bought some Bitcoin here. So, my stop loss is probably going to be, like my invalidation zone is going to be probably the bottom of this wick that respected this prior fair value gap here. So, because I want to see this fair value gap remain revisited, or that low at least. And the reason is because this low here wicks into it, respecting order flow. I want to see price go higher. What a run. And I am now full out. And that puts me up how much? Wow, what a banger day. I'm up 10K. So that's my trade. That I'm out. I'm full out. Here's the position right here. I took it was just a short from this 15-minute gap. While we were trading into this 15-minute gap, we were creating SMT on the highs of London. That's why I decided to take this short. When drawn low, yeah, if we have a SMT with previous day low here, so 1 hour, right? 1 hour chart. If we have a SMT here, created within here, and this is your daily fair value gap, right? If we can respect the midpoint of this here, I would not be against, looking for a long position higher into these 5 equal highs. So I will honestly very, very solid. Are there any questions? Will we have an SMT on Bitcoin and Ethereum at 4-hour highs? Let's take a look. Yeah, we do. These highs, right? With previous week high, I think, actually. Is that... Honestly, I'm not too worried. Like, for this position here, I only lose $250 if I do get stopped out. But I think my track record with Bitcoin has not been the greatest, I'll be honest. I think the only time I hit Bitcoin like really well is whenever I use the weekly chart and 4-hour chart together. And that's when I called like at 25K looking for higher prices. Is because I was just I'm not gonna lie, I was purely using internal external range liquidity on the weekly chart, and that was my prediction, and it just worked. So, but other than that, it's like in this chop, it's like my track record has not been very great. But if you guys want to know my position, I'm just being transparent. I am in a long here, so. NASDAQ, beautiful trade. Yeah, so whenever you have SMT on both sides, I would just be a little cautious. Right? Especially when right now we are at such a uncertain spot, in my opinion. Right? So we'll go look at the weekly chart. Let's see what's going on here. Right, we're at such a point of uncertainty, right? We're just chopping around. Plummeted lower the week of September 3rd. We rocketed higher September 9th, right? We just took out all-time high on YM, which is nice. That could be an SMT. So we're gonna have to wait for this weekly candle closure to kind of confirm this, but this could be an SMT on the highs, and we could look for further downside into these, relative equal lows down here. But as of right now, I think we're at that point where it's just not the clearest price action. We're just gonna have to take it day by day, because long-term wise, there's nothing much really to look at, right? We plummeted lower, took out a bunch of sell-side liquidity, rebalanced a bunch of inefficiencies. We traded higher. We did not rebalance any inefficiencies. We failed to meet this weekly fair value gap, and we traded lower again, right? And now we're just back into the range. So I think the most obvious range we're in within right now is this high to these lows. So whichever side gets tapped first, we'll take a look. And so that's why we're referring to why I'm at all-time highs right now, is because that's this high, which makes sense. So we could be in for some crazy downside if that decides to remain valid until the end of the week. Yeah, that's pretty much my thought process as of right now. Other than that, everything else I would personally just recommend for anyone trade. I mean, I guess if you're learning from me, I would recommend, because this is what I'm doing personally, is just take it day by day. Like, we're intraday trading, right? I have no position trades on right now. Recap why I entered my first trade. Yeah, I got you. So the reason I took my trade this morning is I actually got to my desk quite early, and normally I don't really get to my desk this early, but there was this fair value gap here. Fair value gap, right? We were trading into this 15-minute fair value gap as YM was creating this 15-minute SMT with London high. And so because that was happening at the same time, I expected this fair value gap to be respected. And that's something you will see a lot of the times. I think on my Twitter, I actually posted a schematic of it. Let me go double check really quickly for you guys. It should be in my highlights. No, I can't find it. All right, I'll just redraw it for you guys. So majority of the time, whenever you have an SMT, the asset that makes a failure swing is going to be trading into some sort of PD array, whereas the other one's taking out a high, making a new swing point, right? And so that's exactly what happened here, and that's why I anticipated for this fair value gap to hold. That's why I decided to enter here, right? After all the stuff on NinjaTrader, the technical difficulties, I actually ended up entering here just for transparency. And I put my stop above this fair value gap, above these volume imbalances. And then I wrote it to previous day low. And I looked at this trade. I was like, it's a 2-hour trade. I'm fine with that. Honestly, it's not terrible. 2-hour trade. And then my second part, full close was going to be this low here. This one didn't really have much significance. It was just because I drew up my projections. So using my projection swing, I drew it from the SMT manipulation leg. And so I saw previous day low lined up with this one. The -3.5 to -4 lined up with this low. And so that's why I decided to, full close here and do my first take profit here. So that's why I took this trade. Does that make sense to everyone? Type 1 if that makes sense. Type 2 if you're confused. If you're confused, I need you guys to ask me some questions, because I don't know what you're confused on, right? What is HS? So that's like hidden SMT. So hidden SMT is when you have SMT between just candle bodies. That's hidden SMT. We now have SMT with previous day low would be needed for you to long. Well, here's the thing. What do you see on the hourly chart here? Yes, we have SMT with previous day low, but what else do we have? We also have a previous day high SMT, guys. So in moments like this, when you ask me, is it going higher or is it going lower? And my answer is genuinely, I don't know. And the only thing I can do, the only thing in my power, the only thing in my control is to just observe what price is doing. Well, if my model is to use SMT and we have SMT on both sides of the market, I basically have no model, right? And that's why I'm using an intraday level, because as of right now, it's a Monday with no news. I'm going to take much, much, much lower hanging fruit than I would midweek when we have high impact news like FOMC, for example. Yeah. So if you have opposing SMTs creating at the same time, you have two options. A, sit still, or B, go to a lower time frame and find your confirmations. But that will feel very forced if you do that. When you enter that trade, you're going to feel like you're forcing it because you have that uncertainty. Whenever you have uncertainty, that is a low probability for you, right? So when people say it's low probability conditions, it doesn't mean low probability conditions for everyone. It means low probability conditions for whoever said that for their model. How do you know that NQ wasn't going to follow YM? I didn't. I did not know that. I did not know that YM was going to do that. What I did know was that I was following my model and trusting the process, trusting the outcomes, trusting the process, right? If I got stopped out on that, whatever. I'll live to trade another day. But I trusted my system and it worked in my favor today. It could have very well stopped me out. But if it stopped me out, I know I have risk parameters in place to save me from anything. And I live to trade another day. I live to use my model again. Right? Is your model market maker models? My model is higher time frame key level to intermediate term time frame SMT or market maker model to lower time frame SMT or market maker model. That's my model. My model will always have those three things. Always. Any trade always has those three things. What if YM 1 hour closes above previous day high, NQ only wicks previous day low? Should we have a short bias? Yeah, you could. But the thing is quite unlikely for, because here's the thing, even if it wicks the previous day low, what else do you have here? You have a hidden SMT now, right? So either way, no matter what happens, you have two SMTs opposing each other. So if that occurs, I would just anticipate for either choppiness or I missed a move. But like one way or another, I don't want to be a part of this if this is what's happening in the market because I'm not blatantly one-sided in the market. This morning I was, because of the analysis I had that I just explained to you guys. But now after 9:30 run, what am I supposed to look at? We have SMT on the lows, we have SMT on the highs, forming at the exact same time, and ES is ranging. And so that's where top-down analysis comes in play as well. I understand we're bullish as of right now, but what's our higher time frame context telling us? Is that, well, according to the economic news calendar, I shouldn't be expecting too much today. I shouldn't be expecting too much tomorrow because we have FOMC on Wednesday. Wednesday is the day that we're expecting the most to happen. After Wednesday, we'll probably have some extremely clear price action, which is pretty exciting. But yeah, once again, it just comes down to, following your model, your rules, and just trusting the process. If you get stopped out, that should not affect you because you have risk parameters set in place. Can you check gold? I think my gold analysis got absolutely destroyed, I'll be honest. It just ran straight through these highs. I wanted to see these lows initially because of this SMT on the highs, but it just ran straight through it, so I have no thoughts. I think that silver might just go for these this SMT high originally, so that would just mean gold's bullish further into all-time highs. Could you please give me an example consistent of those three criteria in your model? Yeah, of course. I'll literally just draw it out for you guys. Hard time frame key level, SMT, SMT. That's my model. Quite literally, this is literally my model right here. So you have your higher time frame key level. Price creates a intermediate term time frame SMT into here, kickstarting a market maker model. And then we have a lower time frame SMT occurring. It could be into a lower time frame level, or it could be into, just a normal lower time frame SMT. And then I expect that to kickstart this market maker model, TP1, TP2. That's my model. Stop loss at whatever the low of the SMT is. Does that make sense? Do you always use NQESYM for SMTs? Yeah, I use NQESYM. I use all three. I know some people use NKD. I personally don't, but I've seen some people have success. I just personally don't use NKD because I found profitability just using these three markets alone, and that's why I don't want to like incorporate something new. right back into the range. It looks pretty good for some bullishness because we are respecting this daily fair value gap. Let's see. I don't know. I don't like how this SMT is here on the highs personally, but you know, I mean, I guess you could, if it's part of your plan. Once again, feel free, look for a long. But like, I'm just being honest. Personally, I don't like the look of this. This just doesn't look blatantly obvious to me. Do you think if SMT between NQES is higher probability than... Yeah, I think that NQES, like SMT between these two, is higher probability than between YM, but I still pay attention to YM either way. So a pair, one of which takes a high with a wick and the other closes above the high, would that be a... Yeah, I like to, I personally, I do count that as SMT. So you enter on lower time frame MXM when entry presents confirmed by middle time frame MXM. Yeah, exactly. Also looking for longs. I think overall we are bullish long term. I already finished trading for today. I took the short at 9. Oh, I took a short at like 7:45 or something like that. But I ended up just taking profit at this wait, did I end up taking profit at the... Wait, I think that's a 4-hour gap I took profit at. Oh, I guess it was a key level. Oh, nice. So I ended up taking profit at this 4-hour level and this previous day low. And yeah, that was pretty much it. That was my trade for today. What Bitcoin's doing. All right. Why are your canvas colors so relaxing? I don't know. I just like cream colors, and I don't know. I really like I think my like color scheme is very like cafe style. Do you think we'll hit previous day high? I don't. I can't. I think we will eventually for sure, but as of this moment right now, I can't tell you for sure. For sure, because there's nothing clear for me. I mean, you have that London low SMT, but the reason I faded that London low SMT is because we created the London high SMT after, you know, after the London low was already created. And in my weekly outlook analysis, I already like predetermined in my head the game plan is to come down Turtle Soup Friday's low, and then we look for longs. And so I'm just following my game plan right now. I don't know. I can't tell you. I actually don't know. I wish I knew, man. I really do. If I knew, I'd be banking too. 5 minute looks good though for longs. It does. It really does. I can't lie. I'm not trading anymore. I'm done for the day. But it looks good. I'll say that. It looks good on the 5 minute. On the higher time frames, I can't say much. Why I took the short? I did a full trade recap earlier if you want to just rewind the live. I think at the end of the day, you guys will have plenty of opportunity this week because we got FOMC. You know what I'm saying? Not telling you guys to full port that, but I think it's gonna bring some good things. Previous week high, yeah. Now it's confirmed for sure. No, don't do this to me. No way that we leave these highs here. That would really, really, really bother me if we left these highs here. I think this high is still the draw. I'm gonna be honest. I think it is. Even though we do have that previous week high SMT, I think it's because it's just you know, adjacent SMTs to each other. This one's gonna be lower probability. And so I think we're still gonna run for those highs, personally. Can you talk about risk management? Yeah, I can. Like, what aspect of risk management? What's adjacent SMT? It's like we have SMT between Q1, Q2, and then now we have SMT between Q2, Q3. It's like, in my opinion, that second one, the Q2, Q3 is going to be lower probability than the Q1, Q2, right? So it's like, if we have SMT between two cycles, then I like to just skip one cycle after that and wait for the next one to present after that. Unless price is like just very obviously, just turning around, then I'll trust it. Q1, Q2 on the lows right here. So you see how here we had SMT between Q3 and Q4 of, the previous month, August, right? And then here we had SMT between Q1 and Q2. So we used these two cycles here, right? And then we waited first. Price just stalled out a little bit, dropped, respecting this SMT here. And then finally, between Q1 and Q2, we had a breathing room. We're not using these two, right? We don't want to overlap when we already had an SMT here, right? Does that make sense? So you want to wait until the next new cycle, I guess. Does that make sense? That's how I look at it, at least. I don't know if that's like true or not, but that's how I look at it. Yeah, same with London and New York AM. Actually, I think there's more of a weekly thing personally, or a higher time frame thing. I think daily cycle, I still just kind of refer to SMTs. But once again, the point I'm trying to get across is like, in the entire mentorship, at least, is like, narrative is key, Without that narrative, then you're just kind of looking for patterns. What bias do I have at the moment? I don't have any bias for today, at least. I don't have any bias anymore. My trade already played out, so the way 930 opened, I don't like how we created SMT on the low and the high. Long term, I would be bullish, but I want to see like, an SMT more evident on the lows. If we're gonna talk about risk, oh yeah, right. I just didn't know what he wanted me to cover in terms of risk management. Like, is there any specific things? Do I enjoy or play any instruments? I do. I don't play any. I very much enjoy music, but I don't play any. I used to when I was a kid, but now not really. We have SMT on previous month high. Yeah, I was looking at all-time high, right, with YM. I would just wait for it to be confirmed. I'd like a weekly candle closure, preferably. Maybe even like a daily candle closure. The short tool and projections. Well, honestly, I think it's more so just like, you know, I think risk management just comes down to discipline, not necessarily like I get like the projection and short tool and stuff. Like that's like to calculate your risk. But risk management itself is like psychology and discipline. Do you have the discipline to stick to your rules? Because everyone has rules in their trading, or at least I hope you do. And so the question is, are you able to abide by them? Because you having a trading plan, you're the one that back tested it. You're the one that knows what the expectancy is. So you have to abide by the rules yourself to realize that expectancy. So, but like, I guess like more, so like I risk 0.33% risk per trade. Um, on evals, I risk 0.5% to 1% per trade. What else? Limit yourself to a certain amount of trades per day. I limit myself to 2 trades per day. 1 win, I'm done for the day. 1 loss, 1 win, I'm done for the day. 2 losses, I'm done for the day. Yeah, I mean, risk management at the end of the day is just setting some rules in place and actually being disciplined to follow them. Because some people are like, "How do I stop over trading?" Well, it's just simply a choice at the end of the day, right? It's like, and I always go back to this analogy. It's like asking, how do I get out of bed? I just turn off my alarm and I stay sleeping. Like, bro. I caught the short initially, Riku. I caught the short from 7:45. Then I took profits at this low, which actually happened to be a 4-hour fair value gap. I didn't realize. Yeah, I took profits at previous day low as well. Oh, true? I didn't even see that. That's like tiny. Okay. Like the most tiny balance price range. I'm in longs from 341. Oh, that's fire, bro. How did you enter on that? Got the ultimate soup entry. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. I think price will be pretty choppy. Or at least that's my expectations. Whenever you have opposing SMTs to each other, it creates uncertain price action, unclear price action, choppiness. What was the context for the short you took? I covered it earlier if you want to rewind it, but a quick rundown is pretty much YM was creating an SMT with London High. NQ was trading into a fair value gap at 745, right? I expect this fair value gap to hold. I entered and I targeted previous day low and the other low because of my projections, which ended up being a 4-hour price range that I did not know. I didn't know the gap was there, guys. I just targeted it because of projections. That's literally why. What is PSP? PSP is a high probability order block or rejection block, or just high probability PD array. What manipulation was the projection? Sorry if this was already covered. It's all good. I'll just do it again. So the 745 as we traded into here, right? So I'm paying attention to the most obvious pullback here, which was these right here. As it's trading higher, this was trading higher, so I decided to just project this out because this is the only pullback we had in this leg. You could have also projected this out if you want, and you would have gotten the same results pretty much. So, you know, either one works. I just used this one because it looked cleaner for the manipulation push higher, but this one would have actually been the one because this is the one that created the SMT. That's pretty much my projection. What's the lowest time frame you use as higher time frame point of interest? The lowest time frame would be 15-minute if I'm using the 1 minute. But generally I'll stick to at least like the weekly, daily, 4-hour. Like those are my go-tos for a higher time frame. Yep, exactly. Middle time frame usually 15-minute. Yeah, I would say like my middle time frame is generally 15-minute, and then I look for either a 1-minute entry or 5-minute entry. I prefer to enter on the 5-minute though. Majority of the time, it's just I think it's just cleaner. Yeah, but on that note, I think I probably will head out here. Get some work done. Any final questions? So type 1 if you're satisfied with the stream. Type 2 if you have any additional questions and stuff. And I'll wait for you to type out your question. All right, perfect. On that note, take care, everyone, and I'll see you guys in. Oh, I won't see you guys tomorrow, unfortunately, but I'll see you guys on Thursday. for those that are in the premium. And then Friday, I think I'll go live on YouTube as well. So take care, everyone, and have a great day. Be careful in the markets this week. We have FOMC, so you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow could be choppiness, right? Because FOMC. So just be careful. Personally, if I were to trade, I would just look for some intraday, low hanging fruit targets until FOMC passes. Other than that, take care, everyone, and as always, have a great day.